Haven't you ever lied? And then has that lie been blown up and broadcasted around the world?
Sherri Papini, what you've never heard before.
The phone, it dropped.
What she now claims actually happened. Her then husband speaking his truth. I mean, essentially, you were the target of one of the biggest hoaxes perpetrated on America in years.
Next tonight, hear the desperate search for a missing mother in California.
Sherri Papini.
Sherri Papini.
Why did you lie?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Right now, you're not telling the truth, which is doing something wrong.
Branding hockey pucks against her arms and legs.
I wish I could just say, I don't remember getting in the car. And you're trying to get there, and you're trying to get to this moment where I can't tell you.
There were definitely lots of people saying, oh, this is BS. It's an obvious hoax.
And now it all comes crumbling down.
This is very weird for me because I know that you know everything about everything.
It's important to remember there was no trial, so she's never spoken for herself.
The FBI said I made it all up. I really challenge anybody, how truthful are you? Oh.
Sherri Papini, world famous for her disappearing act in California in 2016. First, she claimed she'd been kidnapped and her captors had beaten, bound, and unbelievably branded her. Then she admitted she just made it all up. She pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI, and now, after prison, divorce, and public humiliation, she has something to say for herself in a new documentary. It's called Sherri Papini, Caught in the Lie, which premieres on May 26th on ID and streams on Max.
The Sherri Papini that's out there, it's not me. She's not real. It's just this version of me that has been created.
She's never spoken for herself. So what the public knows of Sherri is the interviews that she did, the police interrogations, where she is very actively misleading. She is very actively lying.
There's this version of the story of, oh, you're only talking now because you got caught. And also, thank God, it's about time.
How did it come to this? Well, it's kind of a strange story. It all began, naturally, with that once upon a time of crime, a 911 call.
911, what is your emergency?
I just got home from work, and my wife wasn't there, which is unusual.
She was reported missing at about 5:30 p.m. on November 2nd.
Found her phone, and it's got, like, hair ripped out of it, like, in the headphones. So I'm, like, totally freaking out, thinking, like, somebody, grabbed her.
What's your wife's name?
Sherri, Sherri.
My name is Sergeant Kyle Wallace with the Shasta County Sheriff's Office. I was the lead investigator for the Sherri Papini investigation.
Okay, what's your last name?
Yes, Papini, Papini.
And your first name?
Keith.
The whole Sherri Papini story was just a huge bombshell to this area.
The search is intensifying for a wife and mother who disappeared while jogging in Redding, California.
The briefing was, we have a lady that's out jogging, came up missing. Her husband came home not to find her, and then the kids were still at daycare.
Sherri was last seen about a mile from her home in Mountain Gate.
Search teams are looking everywhere, trying to piece together what happened to Sherri Papini.
She is considered at risk due to the suspicious circumstances.
There was definitely a sense of fear. We just knew that a young woman had been taken somewhere near the I-5 freeway.
Her family suspecting something went terribly wrong.
Someone took our daughter, snatched her out of the thin air.
What does it feel like to have that thought that somebody has abducted your wife? Scared? I was scared.
Everything from day one had your hairs up on the back of your neck, just trying to figure out what was going on.
Sherri's disappearance was the start of a mystery that would grip the entire country as detectives searched for answers in the rural Northern California town of Redding.
Redding is unique. Northern California, 2 hours north of Sacramento.
Roughly 180,000 people that live in Shasta County, but half of those people live in Greater Redding area. It's just a very get-her-done kind of community that helps one another.
Sherri has been described as a super mom.
Yeah, she's always wanted to be home with her babies and to be an important role in their lives.
From everyone we talked to, Sherri, who was a stay-at-home mom, cherished her family life, doting on their 4-year-old son, Tyler, and their 2-year-old daughter, Violet.
I know my sister would never leave her children, never leave her babies.
They were a very nice couple, sweet young people.
She's just very kind-hearted and different from other girls that I have dated throughout the years. She's just so down to earth.
Keith and Sherri's love story is really rather sweet. They shared a very electric first kiss in the 7th grade, and they stayed close and continued to communicate all through junior high.
We have a unique story. Years later, we kind of reconnected, and I remembered that I kept her notes that she wrote me. I took her out on a date, and I handed her a box, and of course it was like all our little love notes back and forth.
I mean, this is like a cosmic connection.
Yeah. No, like we were always meant to be, for sure.
For Keith, there was never anyone but Sherri. He knew he wanted to marry her, and he did in 2009. They later had 2 beautiful kids. They're all living together in the very same house where Keith grew up.
Their whole relationship has just been a storybook relationship. They do just very sweet things for one another.
Even her wedding photos. Looks like a celebrity wedding. Just so glamorous.
The cutest, prettiest couple.
We see these amazing family pictures, absolutely perfect. Everybody's so happy. That is an incredible, stark contrast to the anguish we saw from Keith in November of 2016.
Take me back to that day.
It was a little cold in the morning, but it was a nice day. I went to work, and I didn't get home until around 5 o'clock.
He just came home to an empty house, which was unusual for him.
I looked in a few different rooms, and I couldn't find anybody. So I thought, okay, maybe they're outside. I looked around outside and couldn't find them.
He thinks they're just on a walk, but as time passes and they're still not home, started looking for his family.
And I called our daycare type place. First thing I said is, what time did Sherri pick up the kids today? And when she said, the kids are here, that was like, something is wrong.
Keith goes to the Find My Phone app, and he starts to track where Sherri's iPhone is.
It's about a mile away, actually, near our mailbox. I wasn't looking for a phone, I was looking for Sherri. When I didn't find Sherri, I parked and I got out, and now I'm looking for a phone because it's saying it's here, it's here.
Keith was so smart. He took a picture of the phone when he found it because he thought it was weird, but he knew it was important, and he wanted to show it to the police.
Where exactly did Keith find Sherri's phone?
So the phone was found right near the intersection of Old Oregon Trail and Sunrise, just a short distance away.
I knew something was wrong. My first thing was somebody took her.
And that begins the search for Sherri Papini.
I said, there's not going to be a happy ending to this. I thought she's going to turn out dead.